Welcome to Stage Left with Lou. I am your host, Lewis Shilvok, but everyone calls me Lou. And today I am joined by Annabelle Rosewarne herself. Annabelle Rosewarne, welcome to Stage Left with Lou.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm very excited to have you here. We are currently on Beauty and the Beast together.
Correct.
We kind of joined the show at similar-ish
Nearly the same
times.
time.
Like,
yeah. I was
I
just
feel
after
like-
you, I think.
Yeah, there was like a month or a bit between
Yeah.
us. So we've kind of both been on this journey together.
What a crazy journey.
What a crazy journey. But let's go back right to the start. Can you tell me where did everything for you kind of begin? Because I
Oh my
think as a
goodness.
person that you like ooze musical theatre energy
Yeah.
in the best possible way, of
She's
course.
giving Broadway.
Literally though, literally. And where did the Broadway start?
Oh gosh. Like I look back at my childhood and it just kind of makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
I
It's
do.
like it's written in the stars that I
Uh-huh.
was going to be a musical theatre performer. Like you look back at your childhood. I have two siblings. I've got an older brother, younger sister.
Hmm.
Yes, I'm the middle child.
Middle.
Is it obvious? And you think about like the games you would play as children. They are acting games, all those imaginative games that you used to play as kids. That's kind of like what you do as actors, what you learn
Yeah.
in improv class, in drama class later in life. And it's like, I look back at my childhood and I'm like, oh, we were doing that just all throughout our childhood.
Forever. Yeah.
Yeah, like making up stories or like getting the family to sit down in the living room and being like, I'm going to put on a ballet performance for you.
Absolutely.
And like, I remember being obsessed with Kylie Minogue, her Showgirl tour. I had it on VHS.
I love that
like
tour.
DVD. Like, oh my gosh, I remember having Cats, 1998, the filmed like production.
Right. So it's
it
been there
goes way
forever.
back. It's in the blood.
Yeah.
Like,
So grew up dancing, singing, acting, doing all the things, community theatre, all of the
Yes.
stuff.
yes.
And then was Brent Street kind of the first formal bit of training
yeah,
that you did in theatre?
I guess so. Like, yeah, I started singing in like school choirs and things,
Uh-huh.
and I started doing ballet at like the age
Yep.
of 3, like a lot of little girls.
Yep.
And so I'd kind of always been performing. But yeah, I guess, and doing like Eisteddfods and stuff during high school and
Mhm.
things. But I guess Brent Street was the first like formal bit of training I did. So I did the Diploma of Musical Theatre at Brent Street.
Yes.
And then went on to do WAPA. Yeah.
Did the 3-year, the Bachelor at
Yeah.
Whopper.
Yeah.
How was
The full
that?
shebang. I loved it. Like I had the best time at WAPA. I think I learnt a lot as like both a person and a performer because you're so young and you move out of home and, across the country. And
Mhm.
I feel like, yeah, there's a lot of growing up in that 3 years. And I think you just learn a lot about yourself and
Absolutely.
And
It's
the
the time
craft.
for it as well.
yeah.
Did you feel like you benefited from doing a year at a different place before going and doing the big 3-year? Because I feel like when everyone
Yeah.
thinks of like, I'm going to train in musical theatre, they think of like the 3 years at the
Yeah.
Con or VCA or WAPA or like
yeah.
they kind of, I don't want to say they discredit, but like
They're like put it on a
I feel like doing
pedestal.
1 year at Brent Street is like not the first thing that people think of. And
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like those little chapters are what like set you up for the bigger chapters to come later.
Yeah, totally. It definitely prepared me really well. And I think there's definitely things I got out of Brent Street that I like didn't get out of WAPA and vice versa.
Yeah.
There's benefits to both.
And they're really different
They're
institutions
so
as well.
different, so different. Like I think Brent Street, some of the perks of that course was that it was in Sydney and so you're kind of surrounded. There's like so much going on. You're kind
Yeah.
of in the industry a bit more. And like one thing that we got to do when I was doing the course was we volunteered as ushers at the Hayes Theatre.
Yeah.
And so like throughout that whole year that I was training, I was able to see a lot of theatre and I
That's
think that makes a
cool.
big
Like,
difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because here in Perth, you're isolated, girl. You're sort of away from it. There's like the one Crown show
Uh-huh.
at any given time,
Uh-huh.
but you do kind of miss a lot. But then on the flip side, because you're so isolated, it feels like a safe space to really like you can make mistakes.
That's how I
you know?
felt training because I was on the border of New South Wales and Queensland, so like bottom of the Gold Coast, and I kind of felt like as isolated as I was, it was like time to hustle, time to grind, no
Yeah.
distractions, like
Yeah, you're
which
focused.
benefited
yeah.
me as well in like a different way, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
yeah. So then after Whopper,
Mhm.
back to Sydney.
Yeah. I did so much after Whopper, so much moving around because it was like COVID. I graduated, boom,
Were you
COVID.
in the COVID year or were you the
I
year
just
before?
missed it.
Right.
So like I graduated 2019 and then I was like,
Mhm.
yes, time to be in the industry.
Same as me. Thought I was
Boom.
going to go like,
Yeah.
I'm here, world. And
Guns
then,
are blazing. And then COVID
No.
happened. Yeah. So, eek. So, yeah, it's a bit random, but I went to Melbourne first and then Melbourne was like, boom,
the
hit
worst
with
that
the
it
lock.
could have been.
Yeah.
Yep.
The worst possible place to be. So then I did end up going back home to Sydney because I grew
Mhm.
up in Sydney.
Yeah.
And I was like running back to the family, like, help me.
Yep.
But I actually was pretty lucky in COVID because, fun fact, I did a little touring musical theatre, educational music theatre show in
Love.
COVID. Yeah.
In COVID.
So that's pretty lucky. I was pretty grateful to be like
How
one of the
were
few
you
people.
touring? Like,
I know. So we toured schools.
Like the schools. Yeah.
And so I think because it was like under the bracket of being educational.
Oh my God, you'd be perfect for that as well.
Hey kids.
Yeah. Literally though. You're perfect for that.
Oh, thank you. I love kids.
That's cool. So you still got to like work.
Yeah, so I still like got to dip my toes into it. And that was like a little blip during COVID, which I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I can't believe that happened. Like we were kind of the only thing really
Like
able
performance
to,
opportunity happening.
able to work because it was like, yeah, educational. So it was allowed to go ahead. But I think back of that whole thing and I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe we were doing that like in the peak of COVID.
Literally. So your first kind of big pro job
Mhm.
was Phantom
Yes.
on the harbour
Yes.
covering Meg.
Yes.
How was that? Because like
so fun.
I've spoken to a few people now that kind of debuted on the harbour.
Mhm.
Obviously, I've done West Side Story on the harbour as
Yeah.
well, and we had a lot of debuts in that show. And now that you've gone on to do other shows,
Mhm.
I feel like you can look at the harbour experience and go, this is very niche.
Oh my gosh, I know.
And then your harbour experience was like even more niche
Even
than
crazier.
the niche. Like, how was it? What was it like debuting
Oh,
in that way, in that show, in that like?
it was crazy. Yeah, I look back and I think if I can get through that, I can get through anything like the rain,
Literally.
the electrical storms,
Yeah.
literally. And also that was like kind of just after COVID, but she was still around.
Yeah, it was still floating around. I remember.
She was still like threatening.
Well, because like I was in rehearsals for Cinderella and we were doing rat tests every day.
Yeah,
Like
yes.
it still was.
Yeah, we had to do that.
It was
on
still
Phantom.
happening. We were testing. We were doing all the things. People were still
Yeah.
testing positive. All of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
But
your
perks of it being
show,
outdoors.
like literally though,
Yeah.
your show was kind of more so affected by the state of the weather.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why, but it's like whenever a Hosh show is on, the universe is like, let's rain.
Let's rain.
Let's rain. Let's
And you
really
got
rain.
torrential.
Yeah, we
show
had like
cancelling.
a couple of cancelled shows or like somewhere Act 2 we just like couldn't go on.
Yeah.
It's just crazy because like obviously one really iconic part of Phantom is the chandelier, but that chandelier, like it was on like a crane, but the wind, I was like, this is how I die.
Yeah,
Like
we
I
had a
think this
disco
is how I
ball
die.
on a crane and it was the same sitch. Like when
Yeah.
the wind was blowing, you were like,
Yeah.
is that thing going to drop from there? Like
Yeah.
craziness.
But there's something so liberating about like dancing in the rain. Do you know what I mean?
And you can't explain
know what
it.
I mean.
You
yeah.
can't explain it.
You're kind of
though.
like
and like it is an experience that you'll never
Yeah.
really get again.
Can we talk
I
about
mean,
the Dunlop volleys?
it's a Hosh staple.
Yeah, it's like a rite of passage.
Like
Wearing a Dunlop volley.
I've never had to do a double turn in a Dunlop before then. But you went from point shoes to a
yeah,
volley. That is an adjustment in
that is
itself.
cuckoo lala.
That is very cuckoo lala.
Yeah, doing point on the rake for the few shows where it wasn't raining. It's like doing a chaîné, but like being like lopsided.
Literally
like,
already.
crazy.
No, that's like. Did you realize though how crazy it was when you were doing it, or were you like, this is what the industry is going to be like forever? Like,
I feel like doing a normal show after doing Hosh, you're like, oh,
I can
that's how-
breathe. Yeah, literally. So, speaking of, after that was Joseph.
yeah, Joseph.
Joseph started in Melbourne, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
At the
We
Regent
rehearsed
Theatre.
At the Regent
Where
Theatre.
I debuted, one of my favourite theatres
Oh,
ever.
how gorgeous is
It's
the
best
Regent? It's so
theatre.
nice.
Um,
Yeah.
And you didn't cover on that, did you?
No, I didn't.
So that was just
That's
like a
kind of
fun,
nice.
funky, fresh, like,
Nice ensemble moment for
and
me.
like first normal show. Is that what we're calling it? Like
Yeah, first like touring
big thingo.
musical, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
How
Yeah.
was your experience on Joseph?
I had the best time. Like, I think we were so lucky with just the group of people that were on that show. Like, the vibes were immaculate. Everyone was just so
You had
lovely.
some really fun people.
We had some great people on that show. And I think it's like, it's the people, like, and also it's hard to like not have fun on a show like Joseph. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Mega Mix. Yeah. Like, it was, the vibes were high. We were all having a really good time. It's a fun show.
And I feel like at that point as well, not to keep mentioning it, but COVID had kind of started quieting down. So it was like you didn't have to
Yeah.
worry about it as much. Like you could tour, you could do the shows.
Yeah.
Like that's really cool. And like I've spoken about it with a few other people I've had, and you've summed it up amazingly. Like we as performers always talk about the contract. We don't really talk about the show. And
Yeah.
like 50 to 70% of what makes up a contract are the people that you're like spending it with. And
100%.
every single
Yeah.
person that was in Joseph that I've spoken to
They're
in
real
any
ones.
capacity, they're like, but they're all like, yeah, it was the people. Like
yeah.
the people was what made the contract, the show, the tour.
truly.
Like, yeah. So what came after Joseph?
After Joseph, there was Miss Saigon.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which I feel like was a massive chapter.
Yeah. Huge chapter because
I mean, it
I
was
stayed
very
on the
long
whole
as well,
time
yeah.
as well. Yeah. So I did all of Australia and then international as well.
And funnily enough, I saw the show 3 times and I never saw you in your ensemble plot. I only ever saw you on for Ellen.
You saw me as Ellen 3 times?
3 times. I saw the show in Sydney, Melbourne and Adelaide. And I only ever saw you on as Ellen.
Wait, that's crazy. I didn't actually know that. I
Yep.
know you'd seen like 1, but I didn't know you'd seen
Yep.
3.
I'd never seen you in your ensemble plot.
Oh my God, wait.
I don't even know which one you were meant to be. Like, I don't even know what your ensemble track is because
Telephone Girl.
Telephone Girl.
Telephone
Okay,
Girl.
yeah, remember her. But no, I just always saw you as Ellen.
Oh my
And
God.
obviously, you
That's
covered
actually
Ellen
really
on the
nice.
show.
I did. Yeah.
And obviously, you had a nice little run there.
Yeah.
How was it going from a show like Joseph, which is like the vibes are high,
Yeah.
to a show like Miss Saigon, which like obviously is such like a profound show and like so special. And I remember when it started performances at the Opera House, so many people were like, this is the best show that I've ever seen, or like one of the like most moving musicals. You literally went from one extreme to the other though. And how was that?
Polar opposites. Yeah, it was amazing. Like, I think because one of the challenges that we face as performers in this career is you do the same thing every day, 8 times a week. So I think it was a gift to be given like a show that was so opposite to what I'd just been doing for a stretch of time.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful for Miss Saigon and yeah, the opportunity to do a show like that is so profound and is so it delves into really deep, intense, moving topics.
And it just means something to a whole
It means so
group
much to
of
people.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel really grateful and really privileged to be a part of that legacy to tell that story because it's such an important story and it's a really, a deep, heavy, important story to be told. So I do feel really grateful that I got the opportunity to delve into a show like that and to be a part of that legacy. It's so special.
How did you go doing that 8 times a week? Because I have other friends that did Miss Saigon.
Yeah.
And especially like the nightmare scene is one that is referenced
Crazy.
all the time. And I have friends that were pivotal parts of that scene that talk about having to do that 8 times a week. But even just like being, I feel like even if you weren't on stage and you were watching it from the wings, like being involved with a show like that is like, I can't imagine. Like, obviously, we're doing Beauty and the Beast right now, and that is like happy-go-lucky, like having the best time ever.
Different vibe again.
Yes. Well, and that I feel like that is, correct me if I'm wrong, but easier to do 8 times a week or easier to tap into that kind of performance style 8 times a week.
I think both have their challenges.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like, if you're having a really bad day and then you have to do something like Saigon where you're like crying or like, you can kind of bring that into it and almost like it's kind of cathartic.
Yeah.
But then it is challenging sometimes. Like, what if you're having a bad day, but you've got to be like, be our guest, be our guest. So there are different challenges. But
did you find it more difficult on Saigon because of the topics?
I think it was a bit of a That is, yeah, it definitely had its challenges just because of the nature of the show. Um, but I do want to also acknowledge, like, with my track in that show, I didn't even have to go to as an extreme as some of our Vietnamese ensemble.
Yeah.
Like, they had to really go to some dark places as well. If it was hard for me, like, imagine how hard it was for them.
Absolutely.
But, like, one thing that I think was helpful, we did this thing on Saigon, like, de-rolling, where, like, you
Yes.
kind of, like, tap out, you leave it at work. And I think that was so important, just, like, to the mental health and, like, longevity of it. It's like,
Well, because that was my next question, is it went on for such a long time that, like,
yeah,
and you toured Asia and, like, that's a massive amount of time to be doing one thing or the same show.
Yeah.
And then when you think how intense Miss Saigon can be.
yeah.
But no, we did a lot of derailing on West Side as well, because obviously there's
Yeah.
scenes in that
They're similar because
can
they're
have
delving
different
into, like,
effects.
such
Absolutely.
heavy topics, like
Uh-huh.
racial topics and, like, yeah, it just some really dark things and really real things that people experience and have, like, yeah, their lived experience with. So it is so important to separate yourself from the work, I think.
Absolutely. And now you get to do Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Which, like we said, is different again.
Yeah.
You are covering Babette and Belle
Yeah.
on this one.
Yeah.
And Babette was kind of a slightly later addition.
Yeah.
And now you've gotten to do both on stage. As well as Girl with Parasol, one of my favourite ensemble tracks in the show.
Bonjour, good day. How is your family?
How is your wife? We love it.
How is your wife?
We love it. What is this experience like? Because I feel like this might lend itself to the next question I'm going to ask, in that all of these credits that you've had are really, really different, which, like, is great because it proves that you're obviously a very versatile performer. But how have you kind of jumped from one style to the next style to the next?
My goodness. I don't know. No, I think, like, yeah, in terms of, like, being versatile, I guess, like, when you're training, just, like, exposing yourself to different styles of things, like, this might shock you, but when I'm in my downtime, like, I don't just listen to musical theatre, like, shocking.
No, you're aware of, like, everything though.
Yeah, like, you know, listening to other styles like folk and rock and jazz and even, like, back to Brent Street, like, being able to do, like, commercial or hip hop and ballet. I think, like, you know, exposing yourself to so many different styles of each art form, I think, can also help you be versatile. But then, like, I still think in each way, each of these shows, like, have been a little slice of me. You know, there's, like, something that I can bring to that show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like
different
as well,
way.
you're a really open person and an open performer. You're very yes and. Like,
Yes, and.
like, I feel like if I came to you and was like, I'm doing a production of Rock of Ages, you'd be like, okay,
Rock of
I'll
Ages.
do it. Like,
Yeah.
like you, I don't know. It's really cool.
We did Rock of Ages in uni. I love Rock of Ages.
Well, if I ever do a production,
I'm in.
I'll call you.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about covering? Because you've covered some massive roles.
I've done a lot of covering.
And like, I mean, I've even witnessed it on this show in the short time that we've been doing it together. You have had some late notice calls that you're on. You've had some kind of like, I don't know if I'm doing it tomorrow or if I'm not doing it tomorrow moments.
Yeah.
Like, how do you kind of deal with jumping from the ensemble of a show in your track and balancing, like, doing that 8 times a week in itself on top of then jumping into these roles that require different things of you and kind of might be a bit more intense or carry a bit more weight than you normally do 8 times a week?
Yeah, I love covering. I think, like, you get the best of both worlds because you get to do your ensemble plot 8 times a week, and then it is exciting to me. It's like an adrenaline rush where you do get the call and it's like you're on. And I guess it's in a similar way of being a swing. Like, how do you swap those hats around? Like, I don't know. Some people just have that sort of, like, swing brain or cover brain. Like, I guess to me, it's like my job in Beauty and the Beast is, like, I know 3 tracks. I know my ensemble track, I know the Belle plot, and I know Babette. And, like, I think I'm lucky because they're all kind of very different that I can compartmentalize them in different parts of my brain. Like
Yeah.
how I would approach Belle is so different to how I would approach Babette or how I
Yeah.
would approach my ensemble track. Like they're just in different spots in my brain. So when the switch happens, I feel like, I'm just like stepping into a different character's shoes. Like I'm just doing a slightly different job that I'm prepared for all at any given time.
Mhm.
And I just get the word go and then I'll like do it. It's kind of like, I feel like it would be more confusing to be a swing because they're quite
You're the
similar. Do you know what I
second
mean?
person that has said this to me
Well,
on this
it's
podcast.
true. It's true. Because like swings, like for example, like you're learning different tracks, like maybe 8 or 10 or something, and they're all kind of similar because they're in the same numbers. Whereas like Belle is not doing the like ensemble numbers. So it's like they're so different. Whereas you have to learn things that are like so similar or reversed choreography or
It is interesting though, because like sometimes I think that my job is easier at times because the tracks are similar
yeah.
in moments.
Oh,
Like
you think that makes it easier?
sometimes,
Oh.
like when I go on for the tap in Be Our Guest,
Yeah.
I like don't have to think. All I have to think about is where I am at the start and where I am at the end.
Yeah.
Because I can kind of copy and paste
Because you're like the
information.
choreography's the same.
Yeah,
it's
like
the spaces.
And
yeah.
I think as a swing, I've learned over time because I definitely didn't learn it at the start of my swing journey. Like stress less, the pressure is low. Like
yeah.
as high as I can build it up in my head, at the end of the day, like it actually doesn't matter that much. Like that one thing that you stuffed up, we can move on.
Yeah.
And I
the
feel
audience
like-
never knows. Do you know what I
No.
mean?
And it's funny because I think that like mentality or rule would still apply as a cover.
Mm.
But in my head, I guess because I've never covered a lead role of a show either, like I just
Except
go
for
this.
Monsieur Dark.
No, that does not count.
Yeah.
But I go, there's so much more pressure around that. Like, it's funny because I think you're also like really good at covering. It's great that you love
Thank
it, but I think you're really good
you.
at covering. And like, I don't think that you struggle to step into that position. But
It's
maybe that is because you have like different techniques and like
yeah.
you can.
I think like because the pressure, like the load is different as an ensemble as opposed to a lead. Like my ensemble plot is a lot more on the body, I would say. Like you have to
Mhm.
stay fit, given those like jump splits and the cartwheels and stuff. It's probably a little more dancey. I mean, I do have a little singing bit here and there, but then like yeah, with a principal role, I would say the load's a little more on your voice because like for Belle, she has like 2 solo songs and probably a bit more emotional
Yeah.
load because you know you're going through the more of the acting, the storytelling. But like in terms of the pressure, like I don't know if you are like present and telling the story, you don't really think of that external pressure as much because if you're connected and present and like telling the story, you're looking at your scene partner, you're looking in their eyes, you're reacting in the moment like how you should be. You're not like thinking of that. Like I
It's
think
not actively there, that pressure or stress or whatever.
yeah, you're just focused on like being that character and telling the story. Like that's the job. Yeah.
I love that. I think that's a great way to finish. That's like a great piece of advice. Can you tell everyone if they want to follow your journey or suss you out on the socials, where can people find you?
Instagram, I'm at Annabelle Rosewarne. That's my name. And yeah, I guess Facebook. I don't really use Facebook, to be honest. I think Instagram's your best bet.
Insta's probably,
Yeah.
we can link you from there if we need.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining. I loved that chat today.
Thank you so much for
you.
having me.
Thank you for watching this episode of The Pod. Make sure you're following us at Stage Left with Lou on Instagram for all the updates. And I will see you in the next one.